Also, guys, and welcome back to the Football Appreciation YouTube channel. Now, Everton have got rid of Carlo Ancelotti, as I'm sure, or at least Carlo Ancelotti's left Everton, and it kind of leaves Everton in a weird position now. According to Sky Sports, Nuno and David Moyes are the two clear candidates. So I thought I'd look at kind of what Everton would look like if they brought in either Moyes or Nuno. Now, obviously, David Moyes is quite familiar. He was at Everton for, God, it was a long time, wasn't it? Got 11 years. And, I support Wolves, so I've watched Nuno for 4 years. So I think it'd be interesting. I don't think either of them are bad appointments, personally. And David Moyes is out of contract, I think. So it would be quite easy for either of them to do. Regarding Ancelotti, I've seen a lot of Everton fans go crazy. I think this is not a bad thing for Everton. I don't think Carlo Ancelotti was a great manager for Everton. I think Carlo Ancelotti is one of those managers who he gets the best out of a squad, but he doesn't improve players. This is why Real Madrid want him. He comes into good squads and gets a first-place team back to first. Everton, for me, probably have the 10th best squad in the Premier League and the 10th. That's what Ancelotti does. Everton needs someone more than that. They need someone that can get the best out of what they've got, and more, improved players. And they shouldn't have even finished 10th. If you look at expected points, Everton are 12th. That's bad. They're only just above Wolves. And we were awful last season. So I don't think this is a big miss for Everton. And I don't think either Nuno or David Moyes, they're not inspiring, but I completely understand why Everton are going down that route. If you look at Everton's managerial history, it's been questionable. Now, Marcel Brands is there, so that'll be some nice stability for them. He signed a new 3-year contract a few weeks back, but, I don't think Roberto Martinez was an awful Everton manager, but I think it kind of faded out. Kerman was okay, but it kind of just, there's no, when you look at these names, there's no overarching theme. Hollywood manager, unproven in Marco Silva, typical British manager. Ronald Koeman was kind of a boring defensive manager. Martinez, attacking manager. There's no clear balance. Whereas I think when you look at, this is the main Ancelotti team that he's played this season. Obviously Everton have played a lot of formations. They played the switch between a back three and a back four. But I think with Nuno or David Moyes, you know what you're going to get. David Moyes probably set them up like this. It'd be a typical 4-2-3-1. I think that squad suits David Moyes, but I think you'd probably need an out-and-out DM to go next to Alan. I don't think Decore does enough on the ball personally, off the ball, and I'm not sure about Hammett. I think the thing is with Everton is they lack so much pace, and I think David Moyes teams, what David Moyes teams are great at is they get the ball and whack it up to a big man and play off it. It's what they've been so good at this season with Antonio. Dominic Calvert-Lewin would be perfect with David Moyes, but I think they'd lack pace. If you look at our West Ham team, Fornals, Lanzini, Antonio, Bowen, there's so much pace in that team, and this would worry me if I was Everton. So I think they'd need to recruit well if they got Moyes, but I think Moyes is a very solid manager. Whereas Nuno, it's weird because as someone that's watched Wolves for the last 4 years, this squad feels so Nuno to me. I know we switched to a back four quite a bit this season, but this is what Nuno plays. He plays a 5 at the back, 3 in midfield, 2 up front. Or at least this was what Nuno's best football was at Wolves. We used to play a 4-3-3. I'll just pretend Andre Gomes is a winger for a second, and that's what we used to play. But the best football we've played is when we had Jota and Jimenez as a front two. Now, Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison feels very similar to Jimenez. Calvert-Lewin's very similar to Jimenez. Richarlison's very similar to Jota, floating off in that little second striker kind of role. Most of Nuno's midfielders are very defensive, boring, don't score many goals, but kind of run around a lot midfielders. Dendoncker, Neves, Moutinho. Again, Decore and Gomez particularly feel very Nuno-y. Luca Digne, very similar to Barry Douglas, who we used to have as our left wing back in the Championship. Not very quick, but solid defensively and got a good set piece on him. Coleman and Matt Doherty are basically identical footballers. Michael Keane's good on the ball. Mina kind of reminds me of Willy Bolly. This just feels like a very Nuno team. And I think if you could add a bit of pace, I feel like this would work under Nuno. Nuno is a good manager. I know he left us in the end, but Nuno was loved by everyone. And it just kind of felt like it was coming to the end. But Nuno's not a bad manager. I've seen Everton fans, I'm sure if I just go on Twitter really and look at Everton fans' opinions on Nuno, I'm sure a lot of the comments are quite bad. He's finished, embarrassing. I don't think I saw him linked with Palace. He's so above that for me. it'd be interesting to see what he'd do James Rodriguez, because I can't see James Rodriguez playing second striker, and unless he kind of moves on and plays a 10, I can't really see Nuno doing that. Nuno's a very pragmatic manager. He's Jose Mourinho's protege. It's what he is. And we did try and play a back four this season. Maybe Nuno would switch to a back four. Let's just change Keane for Andre Gomez. Maybe he would try and play a midfield free and play a front three or something, but I can't see Nuno doing it. I can't see Nuno changing his system, personally. I think Nuno likes the back five, but I don't know, it would be interesting. I don't know. I can't see James Rodriguez playing right wing under Nuno, but I think Everton would have been a good spot with Nuno. I'm not saying it's an incredible appointment necessarily, but I wouldn't be worried if I was Everton fans. Some of the replies here are ridiculous. The Andre Gomez 90 minutes thing. Look, Nuno is a good manager, and I guarantee you, if Everton have the money, Wolves don't really have any money to spend. We're going to have to sell players. Everton aren't in that position, and I guarantee you, if they appointed Nuno, they'd get at least top 8. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you're an Everton fan, who would you prefer, Nuno or Moyes? I think either of them would be decent candidates. I don't think Carlo Ancelotti was a great Everton manager, personally. I thought he was okay, but I don't think he was spectacular, and I don't think Nuno or Moyes are downgrades, personally. Let me know what you think, Nuno or Moyes, or someone else. And yeah, subscribe, and peace.